We are here on the Yube. Wait, Yube?
Yeah, YouTube.
It's Yube. That's how you say it. YouTube.
Yuba Tuba. Yeah, Nate, this is where we are. If you like our video, give us a thumbs up.
Hey, turns out, I just want to say this. Turns out, if you like our stuff, that helps us out. It really
It just helps us out. We don't subscribe. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just thumbs up.
If you really want
we suck,
if you really like us,
against.
go ahead and subscribe. We don't care, but
yeah,
like our stuff.
And if you want us to do your request, you certainly can tell us in the comments below. But really, if you give us a Patreon or PayPal, that's what we do, and that's what this is today. This is from Mr. Anonymous, the original Mr. Anonymous, but he's in our chat right now. So if you come to our Discord channel, which is free, come check us out on Discord. You can be a part of the live recording, so you don't even have to wait for the YouTube. That's the amazing thing.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
it's always amazing that we have like the person who like sponsored the reaction that's actually there to see it. It's very cool, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more effort into the video, knowing that he or she is watching the video. Like, oh, they better like it. If they don't like it, I'm going to demand a refund. So what we're doing is we're doing a Phish concert. This is, I guess, recording part 1. This is a set list of 2. And this individual is a big Phish fan. He's given us a lot of Phish requests. And I believe this concert was 94, I think. And there's 2 set lists in the concert, or even 3. I think there's an encore. So it's a huge, long concert. But we're basically doing part 1 of set 1. If that makes sense. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. Is Mr. Anonymous our like OG Phish sponsor? Like is he or she the one that introduced us to Phish?
Yes. I think so.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. I wanted to give a bit of background on this, and this is important. So this.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No, it's not your fault. No, he reminded me in the chat, which is great. I'm glad he's here. He said this is one of the few times Phish played a full Gamehenge set with Trey narrating the story. So now Gamehenge, Nathan, is the fictional world created by Trey for his college final project exam or final project from 1987 titled The Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday. And Phish has approximately 20 songs that take place in Gamehenge. So this set contains about half of those songs.
Okay.
So set 1 of the video that you've downloaded ends at about the hour-and-a-half mark, but for recording purposes today, we're doing part 1 of set 1. Okay, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just curious. You had me at Gamehenge. I'm curious all about
Gamehenge.
Yeah.
That's all the information I have on Gamehenge.
Is it a game, or is that just the name?
No, I think it's just that's the world, that's the universe they created, or Trey created. Maybe we'll hear some of that narration today.
Sure.
Let's move. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's about.
It's a good intro, man.
All right. Thank you. Well,
No, actually, I don't. But thank you.
I don't. Yeah.
I think Trey's my favorite Phish member.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I mean, they're all great, but Trey's pretty.
Turquoise mountains, messenger 100 birds in sight came up from the valley, both sides at a time, to the gold city ring. Rain to bend down, pull it up and down, llama to trigger the last fast rift in the scenes I start to run. It was the loudest thing I'd ever heard, and that sound of God. You know, fresh, llama tweet. 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 You know, fresh, llama tweet.
I used to have that pedal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it on kind of like a siren back and forth thingy that just goes automatically.
So this song was called Llama.
Feeling a little bit jazzy?
Kind of looks like Frodo Baggins there.
How's that? Feeling a little bit jazzy?
Oh, this next song is called Nitrous Oxide. NO2.
Look pretty out of it.
Sounds like the vacuum.
Open wider. Wider.
Yeah, it gets vacuum.
Closed. That's good. That's good. Yes, stop a tune. This might hurt just a little bit. Don't bite, don't bite, don't bite. There we go. You're pretty out of it, aren't you?
So Fitchman right now, Nathan, is on the vacuum, but they don't show him on
Just
camera.
relax.
Okay.
That's the sound effects you hear is on the vacuum cleaner.
How's that?
But they don't show it apparently.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
I have one of those in my classroom.
There we go.
The megaphone.
Just sit back and relax. There's a tape if you want to put on the headphones. Welcome. Welcome to the dream, everybody. There's a 52-year-old man sitting in a dentist chair up here, and as he feels the drill going into his tooth, and he can feel the pain throbbing in his head, and he starts to think to himself, I gotta get out of here. So he kind of feels himself drifting off into dreamland of a sort, and he's kind of going off into a little bit of a dream. And he closes his eyes and starts feeling himself shut out the outside world a little bit, slowly. He feels himself drifting off. And as he starts to drift off, he sees himself traveling down this corridor that opens up in front of his eyes. And the name of this guy is Colonel Forbin. And Colonel Forbin is looking down this long corridor as he sits in the dentist chair. And he's feeling the throbbing, and as he kind of drifts off into fantasy land, he sees this corridor opening up in front of his eyes, and he starts to pass through it. And as he goes through it, he walks along kind of inside of his mind, and we can all kind of go with him through this corridor until he runs into this knight that's leaning up against the wall. The knight turns to him and introduces himself. He says, his name is Rutherford the Brave. And the two of them start talking. And as they talk, Rutherford the Brave looks at Colonel Forbin and he tells him about this land that he's gone to. And the name of the place is called Gamehenge. And as they talk, Rutherford the Brave begins to tell him the story of Gamehenge and how all the lizard people of Gamehenge had lived there and how Gamehenge has been taken over by this evil guy, the evil King Wilson. So as they talk, Colonel Forbin starts to talk about where he is.
All right, so this is number 2. This is or nitrous oxide.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. And NO2.
Through the corridor, I came upon an
Oh, sorry. Wait, stop, Nathan.
Oh,
Stop.
what?
Stop.
Okay.
It's probably a good time to pause. Sorry, we have help in our Discord, and I do appreciate it from Mr. Anonymous. We just heard number 02, or sorry, nitric oxide. That was the lyrics. My bad. Him explaining what it feels like to be in the dentist chair and what have you. So the sound effects of the vacuum cleaner and what have you. Okay. My bad.
Okay.
Whew, boy. Okay, so let's talk about what's happened so far. So I assume this is right at the beginning of the concert. So they just come out swinging right away. And when he mentioned Gamehenge, there was a big cheer from the crowd. So I'm assuming Phish fans know about this universe that he has created, Trey has created. And what I find fascinating, that if they indeed do... Oh, so Mr. Anonymous just said...
I'm gonna bleep it out again.
No, I don't think he says no worries. We just won't keep. Okay. Anyway, so he just said yeah, they did for sure. But what I find fascinating, they knew this in 1994. They would know this much information about this. I find it obscure that the fans would know about paper that he wrote in 1987, 7 years previous, and then they're fans of. It's just
there's no social
internet,
media. There's no There's no like way to even like maybe it's on an album cover or inside like the sleeve. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. So okay, but so we were just told that they've been playing these songs for 7 to 8 years. I understand that, but my question is, how do they know about the Gamehenge concept? Like, because the first 2 songs for my quick internet search were from 2 different albums. Like, how are they connecting these songs from different albums to the concept of the paper that he wrote? That's where I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's inside of album covers.
Yeah. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're now going to listen to song 3 on the set list, Nathan. This one's called Lizards, and for those who are tracking, I actually did this on my other channel called Ryan First Time Listens. You can go check it out. I have reacted to this song, but not this performance. So here we go.
Well, I have not.
Yes, yes.
He was on his way to see the king. Will Wilson, Wilson, Wilson.
Wait, are we in the right one?
Sounds like Wilson.
He led me through the streets of Prussia talking as he tried to crush a bug that scurried underneath his boot heel. He said there was a place where we should go. So he led
Oh, I
me
see.
to
So
the
Wilson is
forest
mentioned in a lot of songs, like a theme. This is lizards.
We wandered till we reached a bubbly spring.
Okay.
The night grew very quiet as we stood there. He lifted up his visor and he turned to me and he began to sing. He said, I come from the land of darkness.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, I come from
Yeah,
the land of doom. He said, I come from the
I
land
remember.
of Gamehenge, from the land of the big baboon. But I never ever going back there, and I couldn't if I tried. Cause I come from the land of lizards, and the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have He told me that the lizards were a race of people practically extinct from doing things smart people don't do. He said he was once a lizard too. His name was Rutherford the Brave, and he was on a quest to save his people from the fate that lay before them. Their clumsy end was perilously near. The lizards would be saved, he said, if they could be enlightened by the writings of the helping friendly book. In all of Prussia, only one existed. And Wilson had declared that any person who possessed it was a crook. He said, I come from the land of darkness. He said, I come from the land of doom. He said, I come from the land of Gamehenge, from the land of the big baboon. But I never am going back there, and I couldn't if I tried. Cause I come from the land of lizards, and the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have died. And the lizards they have The helping friendly book, it seemed, possessed the ancient secrets of eternal joy and never-ending splendor. The trick was to surrender to the flow. We walked along beneath the moon. He led us through the bush till soon we saw before our eyes a raging river. He said we can swim it if we try. And saying this, the night dove in, forgetting that his suit of arms would surely weigh him down, and so he sunk. And as his body disappeared before me, I bowed my head in silence and remembered all the thoughts that he had thought. He said, I come from the land of darkness. He said, I come from the land of doom. He said, I come from the land of Gamehenge, from the land of the big baboon. But I never am going back there, and I couldn't if I tried. Cause I come from the land of lizards, and the lizards they have
I love Paige on when he does the classic keyboards or piano key sound.
It's really like hitting
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. That. How fast his fingers are going though.
Yeah.
That's an instrument that's so easy to mess up on, and you hear it. Everyone hears it.
Yeah. It's so true. Nice transition.
Yeah.
Crowd knows the song, hey?
Yeah. They react to every little thing, they know. I have to ask, our Discord channel, does the crowd know? I guess not. Like, what it is Phish is going to do that night? Like
ahead of time.
No, they don't know. I didn't think so. So they're like, oh, we got the Gamehenge story. Cool. And they're all excited about it.
And I'm guessing there's parts of their performance that they don't know what they're going to do until they do it.
Yeah. I always love Trey's tone with the guitar.
You know, it's interesting. A very few artists that I know of where I feel like, oh, that guy's like in his zone when he's playing. Trey's one of them for sure. Sorry, most artists are in the zone. Let me clarify. But Trey's one that's like, you can see it.
Yeah.
Solid song. And that's one you've reacted to before?
Yes, yeah, and I do remember that. Yes.
Okay,
Just
here's
next
what we got
song?
so far. Colonel Foreman, the guy in the dentist chair, is sitting there and he's getting his teeth drilled and feeling the throbbing pain and everything, and he disappears down this corridor. As we heard in the last song, he meets up with this guy, Rutherford the Brave, who's leaning against the wall. And as they stand there, they start to talk. And as they talk, Rutherford the Brave starts to tell Colonel Foreman about the land that he lives in here. And this is this place called Gamehenge. And he tells him about the lizard people. And he tells him how this whole area used to be a beautiful, peaceful, tranquil, green, luscious forest village for thousands of years, where all of these people lived in peace and tranquility with the help of this book that they called the Helping Friendly Book. Now, the Helping Friendly Book was a gift to them from Iculus, who lived up on top of the mountain. The great knowledgeable Iculus. And for years they had lived in peace and tranquility.
It's a real book?
Along came this guy named Wilson, who took the book from them and enslaved all the people. And at this point in time, he was basically the tyrant who was enslaving all these people and keeping them captive. So what Rutherford explains to Colonel Foreman is that there's this underground movement going, and they're trying to overflow. They're trying to overflow. They're trying to overthrow Wilson. and Rutherford is part of this whole thing. Now, as they talk, they come upon this river, and Rutherford, he's not too smart, so he decides he's going to dive into the water with his suit of arms on, and he dives into the water and sinks to the bottom. At this point, Colonel Foreman looks across the other side of the river, and he looks up and he sees this woman riding on this large, hairy beast. And standing next to her is this strange creature, strange kind of hairy 6.5 foot tall creature called the Unit Monster. The Unit Monster dives into the water and takes Rutherford the Brave out from the bottom, pulls him up above his head and saves him, lays him on the ground. So now you've got the 4 of these guys standing there, and as they're sitting there, Colonel Foreman looks up at this woman, and he realizes as he looks up at her that he's falling madly in love with her. Now her name is Tila, and as he looks up
The
at
name
her,
of the next song, Tila.
he starts to sing this little song to her.
Okay, so this is now the song Tila.
The sky is burning in this lonely land.
Page thing.
By the river, and I feel the sand and the wind from beyond the mountains. The wind from beyond the mountains, and she comes to me in this lonely land. Looks down from the multi-beast on which she rides like the wind from beyond the mountains. The wind from beyond the mountains. As I look into her eyes, my frozen heart begins to thaw and burn till layer after layer melts away into a pool. A sky blue mirror of her eyes. Soul is made of marble, but in her gaze I crumble into dust and drift away on the wind from beyond the mountains.
Must be Mike singing background, I guess.
Can't tell.
Wind from beyond the mountains.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. All right. Was the page song? Vocals, keyboard.
looks like this is before their light shows were absolutely incredible.
Well, yeah, it's 94. Not that they didn't have lights in 94, but yeah, they really perfected their light show. The last performance we saw, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Sounds really cool coming out of a hollow body. It's like hollow bodies make it a little bit more muted,
Right.
but like richer.
Oh, I thought it was a little longer.
I know, I wanted that solo to keep going.
Breezes whisper.
We're just being selfish, I guess. All right, so that was Tila. That was a great song. The next one is Wilson, and we've done Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not this performance. And
So,
according to our
now is looking up at
Oh,
Tila,
gosh.
and he realizes
Wait,
that he's
Bill.
madly in love with her. And what you've got right now is you've got Colonel Forbin, you've got Tila up on the multi-beast there, you've got her little sidekick, the unit monster, and you've got Rutherford the Brave, who's still recovering from his ill-fated dive into the river. And what happens is all four of them climb up onto this thing here, this big hairy animal, and they start riding through the woods. And as they ride through the woods, Tila looks back and starts to tell Colonel Forbin about this whole revolution that's going on. Now, they ride deeper and deeper into the woods, and as they get deeper into the woods, it starts to get darker and darker and sort of scarier and scarier, and they find themselves really getting far into the heart of this dark and deep forest. So it keeps getting darker and darker, and they go deeper and deeper into the forest. And as they ride, Tila tells Colonel Forbin about this revolution, as I was saying, and she says that the revolution has been going on for years, but they're really getting close now, and they think that they're going to be able to overthrow the evil King Wilson and hopefully turn the whole area there back into peaceful, beautiful, non-tyrant area. So here they go into the forest, and as they ride into the forest, they come upon this clearing. The woods sort of, they get thicker and thicker, and then finally they open up into this round clearing. And standing in the middle of this clearing is this guy, Aaron Wolf. And Aaron Wolf is standing there with his fist raised up in anger as they lean forward. And as they start to come forward towards him, he sings this song about the evil King Wilson. victim. I think you bad crook. Wilson, king of pressure. I lay this hate on you. Wilson, Duke of lizards. I beg it all true for you.
Ooh, that's a really great chord progression there. Man, he can really play when it's time to.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, all the time he plays, but like,
And I like what I like about this song too is his vocals. I like the way he sings on the song. Like it's got a little bit of rasp to it.
okay.
You don't hear that very often from him. Kind of a rock and roll rasp.
I'm talking about Christian, Roger people say, when we had that meeting, over down the game, Wilson, king of pressure, I lay this hate on you. Wilson, Duke of lizards, I beg it all true for you. Back thinking that you're the worst one. I must inquire, Wilson. Can you still have fun? Can you still have any fun now, Wilson?
See? Great.
Oh yeah.
Can you still have any fun now, Wilson?
That's that sound again.
Yeah.
Boom, baby, boom, baby. So there he is in the middle of this clearing here now. Aaron Wolf singing this song about Wilson, and the four travelers get off the back of this huge multi-beast and they get
Right,
down and start walking
next song.
around. As they walk around, they see that this whole camp of revolutionaries is hanging out there, and they're getting ready for something big. Now,
It's the last one that we're doing for this recording.
and he gives them the word that they've been dealt sort of a horrible blow. And what the message is that the money for this whole revolution has been coming from this guy, Mr. Palmer, who is the evil King Wilson's accountant. And Mr. Palmer, despite the fact that he was working for Wilson himself, is actually part of the revolutionaries and has been moving funds from Wilson's account out to the revolutionaries so that they could have money to run this whole thing. The problem is that Wilson found out about this. And as we speak right now, in the main square of right next to the castle there's going to be this execution. And Mr. Palmer has been caught and he's going to be killed. So here's Mr. Palmer standing up on this scaffolding, and next to him is this little mechanized robot hangman called the AC/DC bag. And the AC/DC bag is about to pull the handle and drop Mr. Palmer through the thing. And Wilson is standing there next to him overseeing this whole thing. And he sings this like... intermission. Just like Roger, he's a crazy little kid. I've got the time if you've got the inclination. So cheer up, Palmer, you'll soon be dead. The noose is hanging, at least you won't die wondering. Sit up and take notice, tell it like it is. If I were near you, I wouldn't be far from you. I've got a feeling you know what you did. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC bag. Time to put your money where your mouth is. Put them in a field and let them fight it out. I'm running so fast, my feet don't touch the ground. I'm a stranger here, I'm going down. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get this show on the road. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I'm breathing hard, open the door. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. AC/DC bag. DC bag. Brain dead and made of money. No future at all. Pull down the blinds and run for cover. No future at all. Who would have thought it? That's where I am. No future at all. Don't sweat it. That's where I
Should be showing the bases here.
Yeah.
Oh, carry me down.
That light makes him look really creepy. Like Blue Man Group with green glow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
There it goes. Nice sound there. Feels like Freebird a little bit.
And that's the end of him. Mr. Palmer goes down the hole.
All right, I think we stopped there. Okay, so for all intents and purposes for this recording, ladies and gentlemen, this is part 1. Part 2 will come. I think you're going to attach it to the same video, Nathan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Yeah.
So we'll just give our quick thoughts here for the first half of what we're doing here. Obviously, it's. I mean, I don't know what to say that we haven't said 100 times, which sounds terrible, but I mean. The songs we haven't heard before I've really enjoyed, obviously. That AC/DC Bag one was amazing with the guitar solos at the end. Mm-hmm. Trey, according to the comments in Discord, this is machine speed or machine peak of Trey. I don't know what they mean by that.
Might just be like
machine gun.
As he's older.
Speed.
He's
I guess
older,
we just get older.
It's harder to keep that speed of playing, but
yeah. It always sucks when every band has their peak, and no matter who you are, every band. Mm-hmm. It's just age sucks.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing, Nathan, we're hitting our peak in our channel.
Yeah, right at the time when we peaked out, we made YouTube videos and watched them.
Oh man. No, this is really cool, amazing stuff, and I'm just constantly amazed by the fans of Phish, their interaction, their passion, their knowledge of the bands, and like I said, pre-social media, pre-internet. This is all like we're talking worldwide type internet when everyone had an internet in their home type stuff. I guess it must have been like fan mailing or
word just gets out. I mean, I would imagine it would be like, hey, we went to this really fun concert where we just moved around the whole time, and these guys just kept playing, and I think they're just kind of making stuff up on stage sometimes, and they're great. Like, I think that's how it went. It was like, oh, that sounds like a fun concert, as opposed to like, yeah, we went to this concert, and some of the songs were good, and some of the songs were bad,
Well, according to some of them, some of the comments in our Discord, they were saying that they often don't come on stage with a set list. I don't know how you do that. How do they do that as a band?
It's because you're that good.
Well, stand by for part 2, Nathan. So I'm not going to really outro. We're just stand by for part 2.
Okay. We'll get right to that next, and I'll be wearing a different t-shirt.
And I probably won't. Nathan, your shirt changed. That's crazy.
So did yours, Ryan.
No, I was wearing a black shirt yesterday.
Oh, really?
I mean, last song I was wearing the. Why did you change your shirt?
I just
you spill something?
Nope.
Okay.
I have secret powers.
Let's do it.
Okay. Continuing.
Down the hole, and it's all over. Now, meanwhile, back at the camp, things are looking bad because without Mr. Palmer, there's no money and they can't run the revolution. So everybody's getting really a little bit worried here. And this is when Colonel Forbin steps in. He decides that he's going to do something that nobody's ever done before. And he decides he's going to climb up the mountain in the distance and try to find the spirit of the great and knowledgeable Iculus, who lives up on top of the mountain. And by doing this, he hopes that Iculus can help them because it's the only way that he sees left. So he starts to go through the woods and head towards the mountain head towards the mountain where he's going to start this climb. Now, this is a huge mountain. Nobody's ever been to the top of it. And as far as these people know, this whole Iculus thing might just be legend because nobody's ever actually come in contact with him. But Colonel Forbin decides he's going to risk his life to climb up this mountain. So here he goes now through the woods. Forbin stared up at the mountain and wiped away the beads of sweat that glistened on his brow. His tired feet were buried in the quagmire, and his bloodshot eyes saw all that lay between him and fulfillment of his vow. And he felt his fingers wrap around a knotted root and pull his body upwards to a sea green mossy boulder, and he dragged his wicked ass up the mountain, and he climbed so slowly, he climbed so slowly ahead. Suddenly he heard the crack of thunder.
I'm pretty sure for parts like that, they're like, just play whatever.
Tumbled down the mountain to the dismal swamp that lay beneath the jagged cliffs through which his path had led. And the earth began to quake beneath his feet, and the mighty mountain changed before his eyes. And he stood amidst a sea of dust and rocks and stones cascading down the mountain, and 1,000 birds were headed for the sky. Whoa! The sacred creed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. His head and was driven to his knees by a blazing beam of light, and he saw the silhouette that stood before him, and he bowed in reverence, trembling in the shadow of the mighty legend's form. Nicholas, the prophet, stood before his eyes, looking down on Colonel Forbin, where he shuddered in the puddles and the muck. And he quietly addressed him, and he spoke so slowly, he spoke so slowly, he said,
It lost his pick.
Colonel Forbin, I know why you've come here, and I'll help you with your quest to gain the knowledge that you lack. I call upon my faithful friend, the Mockingbird, to fly and seize the helping book and bring it to your shack. The tree of knowledge in your soul will grow, and the helping friendly book will plant the seed. But I warn you that our knowledge, seeming innocent and pure, becomes a deadly weapon in the hands of avarice and greed. Whoa. The sacred creed will be yours. And if you wait until tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize and to obey. Obey. So there he goes now, Colonel Foreman climbing up the mountain, trying to find the great knowledgeable Iculus. And as he climbs up the mountain, he feels the whole mountain start to vibrate and shake like there's an earthquake going on as he gets closer and closer to the top, climbing up higher than anybody's ever gone before. And as it shakes,
next song
big,
already.
huge
Okay.
boulders start to fall down and tumble down around
pause
him.
here?
And as he looks up, he sees that...
Okay.
All right, yeah. So we got in our Discord, we've got our donor, Mr. Anonymous, for this performance, just cueing us when the next one starts, which I appreciate because I never know. Such as Ween, understandably, I'm sorry, Ween. He gives us Ween songs too. Same guy. Such as Phish, they just bleed into other songs where you're not too sure when one starts, one begins, which is the genius of the band in some ways, but because I don't know the song. So anyway, we're going to the next song. And the next song is called Fly Famous Mockingbird.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure significant portions of that last song were very much open to just play stuff. Because it has that sort of discordant sound where it doesn't really come together, right? It's supposed to be confusing intentionally. So it's there's parts where they know that, Trey's going to, cue the vocals and then they'll kind of join it, but then there's other parts where it's just play whatever you want. It just felt like that was sort of the cue for that part, which is really fun about Phish, I think.
And that was kind of a proggy song ish, because I know Phish does a lot of I hate the term prog sometimes because I don't think it represents anything anymore, because I feel there's so many different styles of it, but that was a little bit proggy. I think it had parts of it that you weren't too sure which way it was going to, and it just yeah
makes sense.
Prog for me, and this is just because it's just the way I'm wired, it's a little bit disjointed. I get disjointed with it, and I know some people really gravitate towards it. That's fine, that's great, but for me, I sometimes I get disjointed by it. That's all.
And I think what I think about it is it's like prog. When you say prog, it means it's on the spectrum of prog.
You're right.
To what extent is it, hard to understand and really out there? Because it can be on the edge of prog, and it can be full blown you have to have been in the room when they wrote this song, kind of a thing.
Yeah, but they're not boring prog, or they're not complicated is not the right word, but they're not look at us, we're prog.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. All right, so then here we go. The next one. Let's do it. Mockingbird.
The boulders are falling out. It's leaving sort of indentations in the mountain that make the whole top of the mountain look like a face. So one boulder falls out and leaves an eye socket in another until the whole face starts to take the shape of an old man with a big white beard. And the face itself looks down at Colonel Foreman and says, Colonel Foreman, I know why you're coming up here. I'm going to try to help you. And he looks up, and the mountain has actually become the spirit of this guy, Iculus. So Iculus calls his friend, the famous Mockingbird, who comes flying down out of the sky. And he tells the famous Mockingbird to fly to the castle of the evil King Wilson and steal the Helping Friendly book.
Okay, stop.
Bring it back to the people of Gamehenge.
Okay, a couple things, and maybe our chat people can answer this question right for me right now. He's giving this dialogue, or the storyline between the songs. From the quick research I did online, these songs are coming from different albums, and some of these songs I don't think they were ever on a studio album. They were released on live albums, kind of like a Grateful Dead type thing. So they're not all from the same album, obviously, but he's telling a story, and he's interspersing characters and names from different songs from different albums. Is he telling a story that he tells all the time on stage right now, or is he telling a story that happens to fit the songs they're doing right now?
Or is he making it up as he goes?
That's what I mean. Or is he just saying, we're going to do this one next, I'm going to talk. Is he like a charade, not charade, sorry, ad-lib? What do you call it? When you do that, what do you call that when you do whose line is it anyway?
Oh yeah, why can't I think of it?
Because I can't think of it.
I know, yeah. Not
what do you call that?
Ad lib. That's no. You said ad lib, and that's just got my brain in that same rut.
Yeah, I don't feel to have it.
It's
I'm waiting for someone in the chat to save us, please. What do you call it when you bounce things off of each other on stage? Improvisation, improv. Thank you
It's
so,
so
much.
bad.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Here come the.
So is he improving? So they're saying it's a story, but they've only done like this like 4 times ever. So this is odd, eh? So to be at the show, you're kind of experiencing like it's almost like you're experiencing like a Broadway show that's going to be done 3 or 4 times, and that's it. And you just might. It's like finding the golden ticket in in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like you might not get this performance.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? That's weird. That's kind of weird. But I mean, thankfully the internet shares it with us. But imagine being at that show, right?
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, if it's done with Broadway and if it's done on stage, and if that's kind of a thing where you'll never have 2 performances the same, it's surely going to be done in music, right?
And I just want to do my Trey impersonation when you tell stories. And then over here, and then over here, and over here, and then over here, and then over here. Sorry, I just think it's funny. He likes doing this. This is the envisioning. This.
He's
Anyways,
improvising.
I think he's just doing like the movie screen in front of your eyes. Motion. Okay, here we go. Go.
Okay.
He sends it with a warning, though, that he says that having a book that tells you everything, that all the knowledge inherent in the universe is not necessarily a good thing, and you better be careful. But that comes in later. So right now, the famous Mockingbird is flying down flying down out of the sky into Wilson's castle to steal a helping friendly book. And you can hear him coming down now, the famous Mockingbird.
You were frozen there for a second. You were frozen like this.
I know. Hotel internet, baby. Jazz, have a jazz feel now.
Yeah. Man, you got to know your scales for that kind of stuff.
Famous Mockingbird, fly. Famous Mockingbird,
See him shake his hand there? Is it harmonics on the guitar there when he did that? cool sound. Do a pause there.
I think so. Yeah, next song. Yeah.
Okay. I was just thinking, well, two things. One, how, I mean, how many times we said this, but it's just the fact that they figure out what they're doing kind of in the moment off of each other, take cues from each other, and then just like run with it. Like that last little bit when they were kind of, they're like,
Right.
you couldn't tell where the cue was for them to do that. They just kind of like figured out that that's what the other one was doing, and the piano matched the guitar. And I don't know. Maybe that's how that song goes in real life, and I'm just amazed.
Yeah,
at nothing,
No, but the fact that you're just noticing that anyways, doesn't matter if that's what they're doing or not. Ultimately, we're not experts on this, but that's just what you experienced, Nathan.
Yes, they're very skilled. They're very skilled. That's what I'm.
I think they know how to. I think they know how to do this.
They make music with hands.
They use their brains and arms and legs, and they use their fingers. Yeah, it's what we just got in the chat here. Some clarification. It's composed, but it's called a fugue or fugue. Do you know that word? Fugue.
Oh, fugue.
Fugue. Fugue.
Yeah.
It's a classical technique of chasing melodic lines. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's because that happens in classical music too. Yeah, it's very cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. And I really like the guitar work in that song. And I was thinking during that, and I know we've asked this before in other Phish videos. We've gotten comments in the YouTube channel. It's about the question that I had about Trey's being recognized for the guitarist that he is from, the pundits out there, right?
Right.
The magazines and Rolling Stone magazine listed in 40. I don't know. He should be a lot higher than he is. Mm-hmm. Even the numbers that I saw, he's a very he's underrated. I don't think he's rated high enough. And I've that's one thing I kind of pride myself a little bit in. I've seen a lot of rock and roll metal bands throughout the years live and I've been over 100 concerts myself. I don't know if I ever said that on this channel before, but I've been to a lot of concerts of a lot of metal bands and rock bands, and they're the big bands. I understand that they're not like bands like independent, but very accomplished guitar players. And Trey, he's no joke on the guitar, and I don't think he's rated quite as high as he should be. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Okay. So the next song, Nathan, is called. Are you ready? I'm ready. So I'm going to tell you.
I'm ready.
It's called The Sloth.
The Sloth.
Okay.
So the famous Mockingbird comes down and he gets the book from the castle and he brings it back to this clearing here where all the revolutionaries are. Now when he lays the book down on the ground, a horrible thing starts to happen, and that's the fact that Aaron Wolf, the head of the revolutionaries, when he sees the book on the ground, he starts to feel this incredible feeling coming over him. He picks up the book and he realizes that sure, they've got the book back and everything, but now that he's got the book, he's the one who could have the power. So he takes the book, and in a fit of rage, he grabs the famous Mockingbird and he straps him to this pole with glue and rubber bands. And he takes the book and he grabs a couple of his cronies and he says, if we can go into town and find this one guy who's strong enough to kill King Wilson, then I'll be the one with the power. So he's got the book. He realizes that he can take over. So what they do is they go into town and they find this guy who's basically the only guy in town who's strong enough to execute King Wilson, and this guy's name is the Sloth.
Blues now. Prog blues.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm so bad. He's so nasty. Ain't got no friends. Stay out of my way. I'll take this piece of paper.
Yeah, we don't hear Trey's raspy voice enough.
No, we've heard it a couple times in this performance, though.
Yeah, I like it. impressive. These transitions.
They call me the Sloth, Italian spaghetti, sleeping all day, spend my nights in bars.
Yeah.
So the Sloth comes.
I'm gonna guess that's a fan favorite, just because
I think so.
it's so like it's just got that blues edge. It's got the like,
Yeah,
it's like blues, but it's like Phish blues. You know what I mean? Like it just.
That's why I called it the
it's-
prog blues. I don't know if that's a term,
Yeah,
but
that sounds right. Yeah.
all right, I liked it. This next song. This is good information. This next song is called "McGrupp and the Watchful Hose Masters," and it says here this next song was the original song that inspired the entire Gamehenge story.
Oh.
It's kind of important, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Up there. They get the Sloth, and the Sloth goes into the middle of town, finds Wilson, and in a fit of fury, kills Wilson. Wilson is dead. The town is in joy. People are out in the streets. They think that it's all over, but what they didn't realize is that Aaron Wolf, who now has the book, ends up becoming just the next Wilson. And with the book, he takes the power in his own hands, and he can't take the greed, so he ends up taking over the castle. And for years after that, Aaron Wolf becomes the new Wilson. Now, for those of you who didn't follow everything that we just said, we're going to
No, I
go
haven't.
outside of the city now. And as we go outside of the city, we come out to the outskirts of the city where there's this shepherd, and he's out there with his flock. And as he walks along, we go up, and he tells this little tale here that kind of chronicles the whole thing and how it all took place and how it affected him as a shepherd on the outskirts of the town. And it goes something like this.
It's Page, right? Page is the keyboard.
Yeah.
I noticed his hands are like bothering him a couple of times. Yeah, he like shakes them out. every once in a while.
Oh, well, probably.
The march of Colonel Forbin and his fleet hound called McGrupp. The grime of countless work dogs has collected in my sink. I tie my nose with spandex hose before I get a drink. We lie on frozen warthogs with its poison in our minds, while the ferns that spot our children are encased in orange minds. All times and seasons are the reasons people and their clans have stowed the famous Mockingbird with glue and rubber bands. They writhe and cry in agony as Rutherford the Brave chokes Tila and the unit monster managing to save. The spice strippers multi-beasts and thereby cheat his grave. I'd like to get his autograph, but he looks too much like Dave. He looks too much like Dave. He looks too much like Dave. He looks too much. He looks too much. He looks too much. He looks too much. He looks too much.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just love that. I love the piano sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
The rolling bass underneath it there. That sound again. Yeah. Okay, a pause here. Sorry,
Yeah, next song.
my camera died halfway through and I was frozen for a little bit. But I have a backup camera, and look at that. It's working just fine. It's
amazing.
This was a thought that I had in this one that I wanted to just get it out. Oh dear. No. Don't. Oh, I thought you were frozen for a second with the pop can. Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the things that a lot of artists do when they kind of sign up for a particular genre, they end up kind of pigeonholing themselves, or they kind of give themselves a rut where they can't really break out of that. A good example of that is B.B. King, rest in peace. He's a great guitarist, right? Has his own sound for sure, but he really struggled to get out of that rut. He couldn't actually break out of that very easily because...
Well, he struggled to get out of his chair. Sorry.
Oh, dear.
What's wrong with me? Sorry, go on. Just keep going. All right, yes, yeah.
He was in a rut of just a particular sound, and you can hear his sound anywhere and go like, hey, that's a BB King sound. One of the benefits, I think, of prog players generally, and especially I would say Phish, is you can play any genre. Like he's good at or all of them. And I was just, piano, bassist, every one of them actually. They all can play multi-genres, and they can all play them
it's
well.
insane. It's insane. They've pigeonholed themselves into is being a band that can just do whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird and insane. I really like that song for the piano medley that we got there at the end. That was a nice little. Page is in every song, of course. I really like when they kind of step back the other guys and just let Page play his the piano.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful sound. And I've always loved piano and rock and roll. That's why I like a lot of Elton John songs, or I just love or Billy Joel. I love piano work in songs, and I think it's underused in rock songs or whatever genre Phish is. But you know what I mean. It's nice to hear. Yeah. All right, so Nathan, the next song is called Divided Sky, which we've done a reaction to, but not this performance. And according to the individual who pledged this performance to us, they said, correct me if I'm wrong, they said this is the best version of Divided Sky. So we're about to see that, and we'll see if that's the case.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, just out of curiosity, because this is a 3-hour video.
Oh, sorry, he just wanted to clarify, because we'll probably get people in our YouTube comments. This is a bad one. Okay. He says it's a great version, so that way it will stop people from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a great version.
It's a great version. One of the greats.
Yes, one of the greats. Yes.
Okay.
What are you gonna say, Nate?
My question is: we got a 3-hour video. Where will I know when we're done this video? Will it be?
This is it. This is the last song.
Oh, this is it. Oh, okay. Just curious. Okay.
This is part 2 of set 1. This individual did not pledge for set 2. It's a different journey, apparently. This is set 1. This is the last song of the Gamehenge journey.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Himself sitting back in the dentist chair there. And as he sits there, he tries to think back. And we're going to take you back for one last song here. And that's all the way back before any of this stuff went down. Back when it was just a beautiful forest and a beautiful mountain. And everyone lived in peace and tranquility. Everybody back in this whole area used to come out once a year to do a little prayer that they would sing to the night sky. And that's called Divided Sky. And this is it. Thanks.
Crowd favorite. Hear that? Pause it.
Oh, okay.
Question for my sorry guys. We don't do that very often during songs, but the question, you heard the cheer from the crowd there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I fans of Phish are as generally accepting they are of Phish and all of their Fishness. There's still got to be crowd favorites. It seems like we know that Phish plays a variety of different sets and they have a huge catalog, but I would suspect because like any other band, they have that seemed to be a big cheer for the song. So I suspect the song might be one of those songs that people get very excited about.
Well, it was definitely one that someone sponsored us on previously because it's that good. So there you go.
But yes, I know they have a huge catalog. People in the chat are saying, yes, but they have tons of favorites. I know, but it seemed like, at least for this concert so far, this was a pretty big cheer. It was pretty audible.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's nothing wrong with having a favorite.
Yeah.
Divided sky, the wind blows high. Divided sky, the wind blows high. Divided sky, the wind blows
It already feels different from what I remember the other one. Your trampolines again?
Yeah. Trampoline. Wasn't that the trampoline one?
Yeah. Like that riff. Still part of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember. It's beautiful.
If you're gonna keep going to another song, just so we know or not. Or
Yeah. We pause it here.
oh, it's pause. No, don't pause. Don't pause.
Don't pause. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's part of the song. It's a divide in the song. That's what I thought. The lights were down still. But...
such an impressive solo. Well, yeah.
That's it.
I think this.
You pause
Yeah.
it now or so, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Before you go, sorry, get into your thoughts. I just want to forget mine. What were you going to say?
Just this reinforces what you had said earlier about Trey needing to be up there with other great guitarists, because that solo was so impressive. It had elements of all the genres, of course, but if it was more like this really showcased what Trey's capable of, and to me, like we've said earlier, like he is he needs more recognition. Yeah.
And I'm sure he has it, but I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know enough about Phish to be experts, but
people were posting, he's in this, that, but I don't think he's very high. I think he needs to be higher. The tone that he does is a great tone. Mm-hmm. The guitar work, the way he flies on the frets there, and he just moves so crazy without messing up. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because to have that clean sound consistently, you just can't miss anything.
Yeah. He's an expert. Like, and I guess that's what I love even more is his, like, he's in this zone, hey, when he's like moving his head back and forth like that, and he's just in this like other world as he's playing, which is so cool to watch. Sometimes you see some guitarists and they're so focused on their frets and they're looking at the guitars they're playing, and he's just doing it all like it's an extension of his, like it's a part of his body, he knows every part of it.
Yeah. And what's crazy, Nathan, this was set one of, well, they did 2 sets, then an encore. Like they just played for an hour and a half, with a bit of talking, but they just did an hour and a half performance.
Yeah.
They're going to go take a little bit of break, and they're going to come back out and do whatever that set 2 is. And then they're going to do an encore.
Yeah.
I
quite impressive.
I've been to concerts where it's like 80 minutes, maybe, or 70 minutes. The band will come out and play 14 songs, 3 minutes each, or whatever, 12 songs.
Yeah.
Ugh, boy. Do they have opening acts? I mean, they have a 3.5 hour set. Yeah, no opener. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, you don't want to exhaust your crowd too much, so that makes sense. So they're saying that they usually don't have an opening act, so...
I did get like a little chill in one of the songs because the tone was so beautiful. It was just really like, you know what I mean? Like every once in a while you hear kind of sounds and they kind of strike a chord or whatever. You feel this like, ooh, that makes you feel different. And there was a moment in that one that I just kind of had the shivers. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we're going to get a lot of information. So if you were listening to this channel or this video still on YouTube, come to join our Discord. That's where it's at. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're fans of the bands that we react to, because you tell us stuff live. So for example, they take about a 45-minute break between sets, so it's a real event. Mm-hmm. So when you go to a Phish show, it's kind of like spend a few hours there.
Book the whole day off.
Yeah, but that's cool that it's like a Phish concert. Like it's just them.
Yeah.
And they certainly have enough material, and they certainly have enough long songs where they can fill the block up. Anyways, so thank you so much for everyone for watching. Thank you to our supporters on the channel.
I wanted to just say, if you
please.
If you like this video, go ahead and like it, because that's
physically like it with the thumbs up. Really,
click the like thing. If you don't like it, well then go away. We don't need you here. But
yeah, and if you've liked our past videos, go hit them up, especially on the Phish video stuff, because we found out that's the way. That really helps us out. So if you watched it and you thought, hey, you know what, these guys, even though they're a couple of ass hat corn dog guys, we'll give them a thumbs up. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, had us some Phish. We'll see you in the next one.